What's on, deuces, wild motherfuckers?
Oh my goodness gracious. Hello there, Mr. Byrnes. How are you?
Thrill, it's good to have you back, man. I know I've done the show a couple times solo, and it's not the same, and it's tough to try to get somebody to replace you because you just can't fucking do it.
Hey, you know what? I mean, you and I are like two peas in a pod, and I hate to say it, but people in the chat room have fired some stuff at the Thrill's way, and they said it ain't the same. I said, don't worry, I'm coming to EB's rescue. I'm coming to his rescue.
Yeah,
here we go. Oh, and by the way, this right here, I know you're going to read off some stuff, but rub dirt on it, okay? Old baseball saying. Dude, these shirts right here come from that baseballism store right there, right across from the ballpark, right across from Willie Mays Plaza. Those baseballism people treat the Thrill and his family real good. Trey Clark loves the shirts. I think they're great, so I fire them up. So baseballism, tip of the cap to you.
Yeah, it's incredible what they've done because the gear has become world renowned, and you see these stores fucking everywhere, man. And I'm talking primetime locations like right across the street from the ballpark.
Yeah.
The OG one though was in Scottsdale. Downtown really? Scottsdale. It's still there. It's still firing, but they certainly have done a terrific job. You know who else has done a terrific job?
Oh, I know who you're going to tell me. Fire away, please.
Bet Online. It's the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything baseball and football. From the preseason NFL, the college kicking off, Bet Online has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. Think you know your shit? Get in on our winner-take-all $300,000 NFL Survivor Pool for the upcoming season. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino to get in on the action. Blackjack, poker, whatever you degenerates want. Or unwind with one of our over 150 slot games. Head to the website today and use the promo code BLEAV, capital BLEAV, and get in on the action. Bet Online. The game starts here.
Okay, so now I have given you a ration of crapamundo in the past. I'm still giving you crap, but another one of our sponsors, you and I even talked about it, is Steelhead Gear. And you can see Steelhead Gear even gave us a little fish with a Coors Light, which is the beer of choice for the Thrill and Battleborn Mike. So I want to take it from being a flat-billed hat like EB has all the time, and we're going to redneck it, all right? So here we go. This is how you redneck a hat, EB. Look, you just take it, you bend it in the middle, you take it, you bend this side in there a little bit, you bend that side in there, you just keep bending, and look. Yeah, I got a redneck hat, Jack. That's how you do it.
You just ruined a perfectly good hat,
It is a freaking beautiful hat now. It covers everything around here. I don't get no shadows, all of that stuff. Instead of one of them numbers that y'all do when you're skateboarding or pickleballing or whatever you do way out yonder.
Oh, all of the above. Hey, dude, before we get into the Giants, because there's a lot to talk about and a lot to unpack there, obviously, with Blake Snell and everything that's going on. I want to hit up this topic of conversation that came to my attention the other day. And I was trying to figure out what had happened because I read an article and then went and watched the clips that the Marlins take exception to the second hard slide of the series by the San Diego Padres. So, Thrill, it says benches and bullpens cleared in the middle of the fourth inning of the Marlins' chaotic 7-6 victory in the series finale against the Pods on Sunday afternoon. With runners at the corners and one out, Manny Machado grounded a pitch from Marlins starter Max Meyer to shortstop Xavier Edwards who fielded the ball and threw to second baseman Otto Lopez to begin an inning-ending double play. Lopez took offense to Jake Cronenworth's slide as his spikes caught Lopez's left ankle, attempting to break up the double play. Okay, there were some words exchanged. They went back and forth. Thrill, your thoughts on the slide?
You even mentioned this to me this morning. So I went back. I was like, all right, what happened here? Let me go check it out. Jake Cronenworth was at first. He goes in second, and it's a routine double play ball. But he goes directly into the bag, and Lopez legitimately stands like right on top of the bag and turns the double play and doesn't ever get out the way. So Cronenworth's momentum took him into the bag, and evidently what the problem was Lopez got spiked. Well, if you don't want to get spiked, get the fuck out the way, you moron. And on top of that, I told you this when we went to break a second ago. He was in the Giants organization in spring training, and I saw him turn double plays out there, and I told him, I said, you better get the hell out the way. I said, you stand right there. I said, somebody's going to hit you. Now look what happens. He gets hit. He gets spiked. Now all of a sudden he's like, wham, wham, wham. Hey, you want to play in the middle of the field? That's like we were talking about. Who was it? It was McNeil that was opening day with the Mets. You want to play in the middle of the field, you want to turn a double play, you better get your ass out the way. Otherwise, you're going to get hit. Because guys like me that are coming in there, if I got to run 90 feet, I'm hitting somebody.
So the rules at second base certainly have changed since both you and I played the game.
Yeah, but this is straight in. This is nothing out the ordinary, dude.
That's what I'm saying, is that if I'm a base runner in today's game, when I'm going into second base, I'm still trying to break up a double play. The way in which I would do it is slide hard in the bag and then fucking pop up in your face and try to initiate contact while still maintaining directly into the bag and on the base. And it was like, Cronenworth's slide didn't even fucking do that, Thrill.
No. And on top of that, the slide that you just said right there, where you go in there and you pop up, you're not trying to hit the guy and hurt the guy or anything, but you're trying to alter his throw. So he can't get off a good throw. He's got to go over the top of you. He's got to go around you, something like that. But this slide that they took exception to, you know what? This is the pansy-fied baseball that we're seeing now. It's a bunch of freaking little boys playing the game instead of a bunch of men. Hey, rub dirt on it, you bastard. You want to fucking stand in there above second base? You're going to get hit. Guess what? You're going to get hit again, too, because now people know you're scared.
I'll tell you, dude, it's not a good look. And I got a lot of respect for Skip Schumacher and the Marlins staff over there. Fucking, I love those guys. Yeah. But if I'm Skip, I'm going to my second baseman. I'm going, dude, bro, get the fuck out the way. Yeah, exactly. Right? Like this isn't a day and age. This isn't fucking powder puff, man. Like there is legit contact that's still going to happen. Yeah. It's middle infielders becoming way too comfortable in the middle of the field, and they think they're not going to get hit. Well, guess what? There's motherfuckers out there like Jake Cronenworth, dude. That guy plays the game the right way. That guy plays hard. And even with that, again, like I think he can do even better. I would like to actually like nominate myself and you, like the Deuces Wild Crew. We could go into camps and teach these motherfuckers how to, number one, slide into second and still disrupt a double play legally. And number two, for the middle infielders, teach them how to get the fuck out of the way.
Boom. All you got to do is a second baseman, all right? So you're on second base and you're throwing the ball this way. All you got to do is take one step back and throw. You got the bag right there, and you're behind the bag. So now he can't go over the bag. So you're using the bag for protection. Instead of standing right over the top of it saying, oh, you're not going to hit me. Oh, well, guess what? There are people that are going to hit you. And props to Cronenworth. And next time you go in there, Jake, bust him on his ass. Knock him over even worse.
So just like you said, Thrill, I mean, the mechanics of this is simple. You're the second baseman. You're coming in. It's you hit it with your left foot, pop back, clear out, and go. The other option is if the throw takes you across, okay, now I'm going to come across and I'll go the other side.
Right.
But this isn't hard. This is a way that I teach the LTP boys. Like, it's not rocket science.
Yeah, no, and that's what's happening right now with the way the game's being played. These guys are getting complacent out there. They're like, oh, this guy's going to stop running, or this guy's going to peel off, and he's not going to come in here and hit me. So you know what? You and I talked about this. We beat up on McNeil earlier in the year when he did it. Now we're beating up on Otto Lopez. Guess what? You second baseman, you shortstops, you guys stand over the top of that bag. You will be hit, because I don't care what they say. Baseball is a contact sport in certain regards.
All right, Thrill. So we've been privileged to watch Blake Snell pitch. And look, I've been watching from afar. You happen to have caught the last 3 games and been at the ballpark when Blake Snell has thrown. I mean, what's it been like, dude? Because it's been insane just watching this shit on TV.
Oh, man. In person, it's been unbelievable. So I was in San Francisco when he did the 15 strikeout jobby, and I went up to him the next day. He was sitting in his locker by himself, and I walked up to him and I go, Blake, that shit was fun to watch. I said, that was a man against boys, and he knew what he was doing. He had his A-game stuff, and he came right at him. And he pretty much kind of agreed, and he was like, hey, look, I've been, studying how, like, Harrison threw to him and what they were missing off of Harrison. And so he actually got a scouting report off of a freaking rookie, believe it or not, throwing against the same team. And then he goes out there, dude, the no-hitter was freaking dominant. I mean, you just can't say anything else. And then I just caught him in Washington, D.C., where he went 6 and, I don't know, punched out 12. And he wound up giving a few runs. He hung a curveball, and that cost him a 3-run homer. But other than that, he was pretty much lights out in Washington, too. So he's been on a roll. He's figured some stuff out, not only in his delivery, but tightening up kind of his misses. His misses were starting to be big. Now his misses are small. And if you remember last year when he was the Cy Young winner, he went off in the second half. He had like a 0.69 ERA or something like that in the second half. And so he's going off in the second half right now, which is what the San Francisco Giants need right now. We just talked about it. You and I talked about it. They lost last night to the Braves. They were a game and a half out of the wild card. Now they're 2.5 out. But, they get hot. I mean, they get hot right now. I mean, we talked about this too. They are playing all teams besides the Braves that they're playing right now. They're playing all teams below 500 in August. These are the teams you need to beat up on. These are the teams where you can get right back in everything.
So I think there's something to be said for pitchers and teams that get hot down the stretch. One of the things, if you remember from Bob Melvin, even last year with the Padres, Bob Melvin teams get hot down the stretch, man. Like, they have a way, and he's got a way of managing a 162-game ultra marathon season where he's got the boys firing on all cylinders as you come down the home stretch. The big question is, are they going to be able to pull off enough victories to get into the postseason? I got a statistic for you that I just heard earlier tonight. For the first time in a long ass time, I want to say it fucking like 40, 50 years, something crazy. At this point of the season, there is not one team in Major League Baseball that is on pace to win over 95 games. A lot of parity.
I did not know that.
Crazy, huh?
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, what do you think that tells us? Because we do have a lot of good teams. We don't have a dominant team, though. We just don't.
I mean, and you know this, and everybody in the chat room knows it. We talk about it all the time. But in baseball, you have the teams that freaking come out of the gates like a bat out of hell, and then they cool off a little bit. And, everybody tries to play catch-up. And then vice versa. You have a team that comes out like a piece of shit, and then all of a sudden they catch fire. Perfect example would be like the Cardinals. I mean, They came out terrible. Now we get them, So what we're seeing right now is a little bit of parity, but then we're also seeing these teams that in the past have like gotten like on fire and stayed on fire for like 3 months. That's not happening right now, and so it's kind of bringing everybody into the playing field. Like I said, if you look at the wild card standings right now, I mean, it's a freaking stack load of teams in there. So
Yeah, I mean, even tonight, dude, just say, for example, right? You got the Mets fighting for a playoff spot. The A's are fucking beating them 9-4 in New York.
unbelievable, huh? It's unbelievable. I mean, you sit there and shake your head like some of the stuff that's going on nowadays. Like, whoa, that team should have beat the hell out of that team. And then you have the game like last night. You have the game where Snell is pitching against Chris Sale, who
Yeah.
might be the Cy Young winner this year, and it's a 0-0 battle all the way through the ninth inning. And they won't wind up getting a sacked fly with that stupid ass piece of shit runner on second base, Rob Manfred thing. Fuck.
What would you like to see done
That
in
game
extra
might
innings?
have gone 18 innings. You never know.
So, what would you like to see? No change? Just play it out?
Yeah, play it out. That's the way baseball's been. You play it out. Hey, I'm not playing 9 innings and have my freaking ace nail down some shit. Now, we talk about the Giants and the Braves. Both of their aces nailed down some shit. We're not doing that, and then in the 10th inning go, oh, we gotta give everybody a break. Here's a runner on second base. You guys can start with a runner on second base. Fuck that. Make them earn the shit.
Thrill, I respect and appreciate where you're coming from. If I had it my way, once they got into the 11th inning, so 10th inning, we're going to play out normal. You got another inning, boys. Go out there, do it. We'll see how it ends. If they don't get it done in 10, in the 11th inning, I load up the bases. There's one out, and it's a Texas fucking tiebreaker, and it's on. And it's just action. Yeah.
All right. I'll give you one better. All right. If you want to take it a little further, I'll give you your bases loaded, but do 2 outs. Now you have to get a base hit, or the pitcher can't throw a 55-footer. So everybody's kind of balls are in a ringer.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. I like that. Yeah.
In the 12th, we'll go to 1 out. How's that? But we get further in the game. This is bullshit. Where we're in the 10th, you get a routine grounder and then get a high fastball, whack, sacrifice, fly, we lose. It's like, that's bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, you can say it's execution, right?
That wasn't.
I mean, play the fucking game, boys.
It was bullshit. Plus, on top of that,
yeah, I'm with you. I do agree.
Don't get me started. You got me on a roll already. God damn it.
I agree. I do agree that it is bullshit because you have this masterful fucking pitching performance by Chris Sale and Blake Snell, and then the bullpens were good too after those guys came out.
Yeah.
And then we get to the 10th, and it's like, yeah, it's just so anti-fucking climatic. When the Braves scored that run, I was like looking at it, and it's like, meh. Like I don't know. I don't know how I felt because I think if you're the visiting team and you score that one run, like, are you feeling comfortable? Because the other team's starting with the runner at first, right? Exactly, or a runner at second in the same scenario. Exactly. I think if I score 2, I'm feeling good.
Right.
But as a Giants fan, I watched them score 1. I'm like, no problem. We got this shit. Well, sure enough, no, it didn't fucking happen.
Yep. You're right. Hey, while we're on the Giants, this is an anniversary of I don't know when exactly it was, but an anniversary of my buddy Dave Dravecky in Montreal. I know you wanted to talk about that, so
I did, really. I read an article about it and about Dave, and I mean, what a special human being. You were quoted extensively in the article. Take us back to that day in Montreal.
Yeah, that article was done by Matty Rwanda. I mean, I've done some stuff with him. He's from MLB, good dude. And I've done some stuff, for the Giants in the past with him. And he wanted to do something about Dave. And for me personally, it's very emotional because as a rookie, I broke my elbow in Montreal and I was laying on the turf out there and freaking had nobody out there until the medical staff could get there from all the way across the field. So, it was very emotional. And then, you fast forward a few years and Dave throws a pitch, and I mean, it just sounded like a rifle going off, and he went down, and the ball went in front of me, and went into the Expos dugout, and I just made a beeline for him. And when I got to him, he was just wreathing around in pain, and I grabbed his arm to kind of stabilize it, and yeah, I can't go into the details, but it wasn't pretty. And I had been there a few years before. I was on the ground rolling around in pain, and nobody was there, and I just wanted him to know I was there for him. And the only thing I could think of at the time was, because he's going into shock, was, hey, breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, in through your nose, out through your mouth, in through your nose, out through your mouth. And by that time, the medical staff was out there and let them do their thing.
Certainly one of the most horrific injuries that I've ever seen.
And I wish I could say that was the only one I saw, but I also saw Tom Browning's. He did the same thing. Threw it, whack down he went, and same crap out there on the mound. So I've seen it a few times, and it's a pretty devastating injury.
So walk me through the process of when this happened to Dave Dravecky. They said he would never pitch again.
Yeah.
And then he began this miraculous comeback.
Yeah, I mean, if you know Dave and you know what kind of person he is, you knew that he's coming back. He's going to do anything to come back. And, it took a graft and a surgery and then this and that. And, I don't know the exact timeline of everything. But I know when he came back, it was against Cincinnati. It was in Candlestick. The place was packed. I think it was a weekday game. If I had to guess, I'm not sure. Maybe somebody can in the chat room can do the history on that. But all I know is, man, he went 7 innings and did not give up a run after breaking his freaking arm in half. I mean, I just shake my head, and that's all I can say is that's Dave. That's my buddy Dave. So
I had an opportunity to meet Dave and talk to him extensively through your retirement ceremony.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what a special human being. And it's someone that, there's a spirit about him that it's different, right? Like he's just
unbelievable. And then,
so cool, so inspirational, a man of faith, and just I really enjoyed my time with him, and I just love how he's just out there sharing his message and sharing what he went through, and it's super cool.
Without a shadow of a doubt. And matter of fact, thanks DH. He came on the chat room and said it was August 10th, and he made his highly publicized return to the major leagues, pitching 8 innings in a 4-3 win. I mean, it was unbelievable what Dave Dravecky did that day, coming back from that horrendous injury. And to show you what kind of person he is, this is the kind of person he is. He later on has his arm amputated, as everybody well knows, right? He decided that he is going to switch over and sign his autograph right-handed now, and he's going to sign it exactly as he did left-handed, and he practiced it. So now he has the same penmanship right-handed that he had left-handed before he freaking got his arm cut off.
Yeah, before
Unbelievable what kind of human being this guy is.
So he had cancer, and that's eventually what, I don't know if that led to the break. A lot of times they'll discover the cancer when that happens. I know there's this amazing triathlete, this girl that when I was going across the country, the Challenge Athletes Foundation set me up with her they had made her prosthetic, and we biked a few miles and ran a few miles together. Really super cool. But she was saying that like she had broken her leg, and then in the process of her breaking the leg, they figured out they're like, holy shit, like you have cancer.
But guess what? That was probably the best thing that ever happened to her. I mean,
Yeah.
looking back on it, was because otherwise you'd have just went on and not known you had cancer.
Would have killed her.
I mean,
And it would have killed Dave.
Yeah, exactly. It'd have killed you. So, I mean, you look at it both of those ways, and till this day, I see Dave probably, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 times a year, and every time I see him, it's a big, huge hug. He kisses me, I kiss him, whatever it is, and just 2 guys being teammates again.
Hey, Thrill, I have a question, and we're on Montreal, and it's just a really, really cool city. It's not a place actually that unfortunately, like, I've never been. I did play against the Expos, but I've never been there. But I've heard just amazing things about it. All the X-ball players just rant and rave and say how awesome a place it was. I got this photo. We got this photo from one Giuseppe Pepe Manuele.
You have to tell the audience what is.
It says Chez Pare.
Laughing and crying. Hang on. Oh shit! I love it.
I mean, let's just bringing it back to reality here. What sort of establishment is this, Thrill? Giuseppe Pepe Manuele sent us this band. I'm like, dude, this is looking.
As soon as I saw it, I put my head in my hands. I'm like, oh my god. So the picture that you guys can't see was in his phone was a place called the Chez Paris.
Yeah.
It was literally a strip joint 2 blocks down from our hotel in Montreal, and it was on the way to the subway when you had to go to the ballpark, and on the way back from the subway when you were returning from the ballpark. And there were a lot of beers consumed in that place by the San Francisco Giants.
Well, hey, as there should have been. I mean, the boys need to unwind, and I mean, I don't know. I imagine they probably had some good seafood in there, maybe some sushi.
Seafood. Yeah, that was a place to go for happy hour. Sure, there you go. Yeah, we had too much fun. Look, I can't say anything. I was single and in the big leagues for 9 years, so I can't say anything. I was single.
Bro, there's no casting judgment here, man. I mean, I do think that it's important.
I can tell you one thing. When you go into the ballpark, you'd pass by, you'd like look in there, and you'd be like, "See you in about 4 hours."
Well, the question would actually be is if I was passing by there and say I was going to the subway and then to go to the stadium, then come back, I would walk by. And I would ask the gentleman at the door, I would say, what time does the A-team arrive?
Oh, my God.
Oh, dude. All right, Thrill. So, hey, dude, I don't know if you know this, and I haven't even told you this, but this is something that I wanted to do. So today is National Left-Handers Day.
It is. And it's not national, it's International Left-Handers Day. It's
really
worldwide for us freaky people.
So, yeah, I mean, you obviously have gotten all sorts of notices from the people and the buddies and everything else about this. I figure let's take a moment here. There's a couple different routes we could go with this. We do have a great audience on tonight, so you guys can fire away if you'd like. Let's do 2 different things. First and foremost, let's try to figure out and rank the top 5 left-handed pitchers of all time.
Oh, my God.
Yup. I mean, I'm going to like the number one name in our generation that comes to mind, Randy fucking Johnson.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Of our generation.
And I had to face Randy a bunch, so he's in the top 5.
Okay.
I have a feeling, all right, now this is the generation before me, but I'm going to go with the Mr. Dodgers Southpaw Sandy Koufax.
Yeah. It's tough because we didn't play against Sandy, but hearing the stories of how good he was.
Yeah, but he also retired early because arm issues and stuff like that. But when he was like in his prime, nobody could hit him. I mean, Willie Mays told me stories about Sandy. He said, and Drysdale used to knock him down all day long. He goes, I'll face Drysdale knocking me down all day long before I face Koufax.
Yeah. Yeah, so they were saying Koufax would run it up there about 100 miles per hour, too, in his prime.
Oh, that and a freaking nasty hook on top of that.
So we can't go much further just because, and I'm going to bring him up, and I'm not putting him in the top 5, but because we're talking about Dodgers left-handers, Clayton fucking Kershaw, dude.
Dude, in this latest generation, one of the better ones. He's got, put it this way, even though naysayers, whatever, he's racked up Hall of Fame credentials. I can tell you that.
I would be shocked if this guy doesn't get elected into the Hall of Fame on his first ballot. Jason's on here, and he brings up a guy that is near the top of every list that I've looked at, Warren Spahn.
Oh, I was just going to say him. He was another one from the, Ted Williams era and all that sort of stuff. And he was another one where nobody said, I want to face him, or hey, I'm gonna get a good at bat off of him.
Mm-hmm. Okay. A guy I imagine you probably faced, Steve Carlton.
Yeah, I saw Josh just brought up Carlton in the chat room. Probably I caught him at the end of his career.
Yeah,
in the generation right before me, the most dominant left-hander. I mean, up until Randy broke his record, like the left-handed strikeout leader.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's tough because, and I'm sure you feel the same way I do, but I'll give you an example. Greg Maddux. We've talked about him a little bit before.
Yeah.
But there's no other way to put that. I fucking own Greg Maddux.
Yeah, you told me. Yeah.
When people talk about Greg Maddux being one of the best pitchers of all time, and I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm a fan. I get it. I watched it. And even though I had success off him, I still thought Greg Maddux was nasty. His ball would fucking run this much.
Yeah.
Everything he threw would break into me. And so that did me a favor, right? It was almost like I was facing a lefty. And that's what made him so effective against lefties, because he'd run the two-seamer away, front door, whatever. But I had this shit coming in. I'd just fucking buggy whip his ass down the line. But, I have to separate. There's like the fan boy in me and then the player in me. Because the player in me, I obviously wasn't scared to grab a bat. Now, I also didn't necessarily see Greg Maddux in the prime of his prime. Okay. Right? I got towards the tail end of his career as well. And the same with Randy and a couple of these other guys.
Yeah, and you didn't get Maddux when Maddux was Maddux and he was getting 6 inches off the plate too. That was a different Greg Maddux you had to face.
Oh, that was a fucking joke. What is a crying shame for your generation? Him and Glavine. Glavine's the other guy we need to bring up.
You and I have had that talk, but guess what? That's what we had to deal with. So, I mean,
that ball right there, as we transition here into the Giants game with Harrison on the mound, that ball missed by about 4 inches off the plate. Dude, that was a strike every fucking time.
It was a strike.
Every time.
Yep, and that's why you had to know which side the plate somebody was going to, and you had to move around the batter's box. So there you go. Um, you know, another thing too. I mean, there are other guys. There are other guys that are, I guess you want to say, for lack of a better term, they're like intimidating. So, like, Warren Spahn, a Steve Carlton, a Randy Johnson, a Sandy Koufax, these guys that we're naming, they're very intimidating. A Maddox is throwing 88 with a changeup. Glavine, he's throwing 89 with a changeup. It's nothing that's intimidating. It's just the fact that they make pitches on you, and they were getting some help behind the dish. So, that's kind of the difference in those guys that we're talking about right there.
So by far and away, Randy Johnson was the most intimidating pitcher that I ever faced. Who was the most intimidating pitcher you ever faced?
The guy I faced my first at bat in the major leagues.
Oh.
You didn't. You did not mess around in the batter's box with Nolan Ryan. You didn't do it. I mean, it wasn't one of these like all this bullshit that they're doing, these celebratory bullshit or another. You did that, you're wearing something on your body your next at bat. So you might as well just suck it up. And you got to remember something too. I'm facing Nolan in his third decade. He pitched in the 60s, 70s, and I'm facing him in the 80s. So pretty unbelievable.
So there's another guy that was cut from the same cloth as a Randy Johnson and Nolan Ryan that we haven't even brought up yet. But certainly, if you look at his postseason credentials, will go down as one of the best left-handed pitchers of all time, Madison Bumgarner.
He's very close to my heart because he and I were like two peas in a pod in the clubhouse. But then he single-handedly won the 2014 World Series. So, his body of work wasn't as extensive as everybody else. But when it came down to winning the big game that you needed one, the Mad Bum was all up in there.
Runners at first and second, no outs. Marcell Ozuna at the plate. Harrison's got himself in a little bit of a jam. 1-2, foul ball. He wasn't getting the call just off the plate thrill, and he ended up walking the leadoff guy, and then he just got a nice call against Ozuna. Ozuna was pissed about it, but it was sort of that ball that used to always be called a strike that no longer. And look, hitting is hard these days, so I'm not even saying that they should, but there's strike three as Ozuna goes down. That's a big strikeout.
So check this one out, all right? So he walks Jorge Soler, a former teammate. Guess what? We've walked Jorge Soler 3 times in 2 games. We know this guy. He was in our lineup for the last half of a year. What are we doing walking him? Make him hit the ball.
Matt Olson deep to center. Ramos hauls it in. Soler's going to tag and go to third. Riley stays at first. So runners at the corners and 2 outs. A good swing throw. He just missed this right here.
Yeah, no, so that's the old pitch him away, play him away, and hit it to the big party yard. Look, right at the 399 sign. Good luck. And he just didn't quite get enough of it.
So a big at-bat coming right now. Travis d'Arnaud. It's interesting because it looks like he's standing pretty far off the plate, daring him to go inside. He gets that inside fastball and swings right through it, 93 miles per hour from Harrison. Harrison does have that 4-seam run, though, that just, it's 93, but it plays more like 96, 97.
Yeah. He's got that funky kind of delivery. He kind of almost like he's very similar to old Sid Fernandez from the Mets. He gets up underneath the ball and like pushes it, and the ball like rides up a little bit.
The 1-1 pitch is a changeup down. That's the pitch that he got Marcell Ozuna on. d'Arnaud, he's had a great career, man.
You know what? He has. He's like rallied himself last few years. He went from being kind of in obscurity to now. All right, he's a starting catcher and
Fucking world champion catcher that does it,
yeah,
right?
doing a
I mean,
damn good job.
everyone needs that dude, and he's a great clubhouse guy. He's a great
Yeah,
guy.
yeah, yeah,
Follows
yeah,
me on Instagram.
yeah.
All fucking double thumbs up for this guy. Thrilled 2 balls, 2 strikes now. I mean, do we stick with the heater or we go
This
back
is
to the
probably gonna be
changeup?
the high chi, baby.
Okay, here it is. Yes. Are you not? Are you like? I'd say 95% on calling pitches.
Thank you. That's how we roll. Everybody wants to know how I know because I pay attention to how Patrick Bailey calls a ball game. So if Patrick Bailey ever gets traded, I know how he calls a ball game, and I'm gonna beat on him.
So Bob Gibson, the same way. Yeah.
Oh my God! What a freaking beauty!
Bob.
So I retire with the Cardinals, and then LaRussa brings me back next few years, and I come into spring training, and I'm the special guy, whatever. And 3 years in a row, my locker was right next to Bob Gibson, and I come in, I'm like, oh Jesus, hi Mr. Bob, hi, how are you doing? That kind of thing, and Dusty Baker had told me the story about Bob Gibson and Hank Aaron. And I go, oh, really? Yeah. And Dusty told me this when I was playing. And so, anyway, I told Mr. Bob, I'm like, Mr. Bob, I said, Dusty Baker told me that Hank Aaron told him to not dig in when he faced you because you were real serious out there and you would bury him. And he kind of like shook his head, like, yeah, that kind of thing. And so anyway, so I go, and Dusty told me that there was like a rookie about 2 years later. He gave him the same advice off of you, and he was digging a hole up there at home plate, and you were just standing there on the mound like this, and all of a sudden the rookie looked out there and saw you and started to cover the dirt up, and he's like, oh, I forgot about it. And I said, Dusty told me that you said, don't worry, go ahead and keep digging that hole because that's what I'm going to bury you in. And you drilled him the next pitch. And he goes, Will, every bit of that is the truth. He goes, I hit the crap out of him.
Fucking legend.
And the best part is Bob Gibson, besides being a large human being and all that, he's a Gold Glove boxer. You're not going to go out on the mound and try to kick his ass. He's going to beat the shit out of you. And here I am in the Cardinals clubhouse, and I'm in the locker next to him. And I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? I'm here. Lou Brock's across the clubhouse. There's Stan Musial over there. There's Red Shandies over there. Well, what am I doing here, It's like, wow. Unbelievable.
That's super cool, man. Yeah, Bob's just that intimidating presence. I mean, it was big old arms, hands, like just all of it.
When you shook his hand, it was like he just got all up in there. It's like Jesus. And because of going to spring training with him, I actually played. He had it going on for a few years up until he started to get sick. But he had a Bob Gibson golf tournament, and it was in Omaha, Nebraska. And I went and played in it about 4 or 5 years in a row. And he was just super human being, super.
All right, so I mean that'll somewhat conclude our top 5 lefty list. I mean, obviously not. Bob Gibson on that list.
That was really good. I enjoyed that. That was good revisiting some of that stuff.
Well, there's a couple others that I think.
By the way, while I'm thinking about this, Wes just came on there and said he met Dusty. Dusty and I had 2 peas in a pod. I saw him the last time I was in San Francisco. We had a chance to spend 2 days together watching the ball game and talking. And he and I legitimately called 90% of the pitches that came in. And he's looking at me, I'm looking at him, And I go, do you think that any of those guys out there know what we're doing right here? And he goes, no. He says, I've talked to them. I said, I've talked to them until I'm blue in the face, and they don't listen. So, I don't know.
Dusty, I mean, what a fucking baseball guy, right?
Freaking unbelievable. And he keeps it real. I mean, he talks like you and I talk. It ain't like, you go, talk to somebody and it's like he's talking over the top of you. It's like two friends just bullshitting. But when he starts talking technical shit, you better shut the fuck up and you better listen because that man knows what he's talking about.
Ramos drills the ball to right field. He's going 3. Easy triple.
Yeah,
Little Pete Rose
yeah.
hit first dive, too.
Very nicely done.
Fuck yeah, man. Charlie Morton was cruising until he just leaves a 96-mile-per-hour two-seamer out over the outer half. It's exactly what I'd be looking for.
You know what? Charlie Morton's got good stuff, man.
He does.
He's got good stuff. One of the things that I noticed is when you go to San Francisco, it's amazing how our right fielder plays way to shit over there in freaking Triples Alley, and none of the visiting teams ever play that far over. That we cut that freaking triple off for the most part, and if you're going to get a triple, you actually got to hit it down the line, down the right field line. All right, Conforto, watch. This ball's going to be away from you. Go the other way.
Two-seamer away. It's funny because they tried to come in. It looked like.
He tried to come in, but he left it out over the
Doesn't
plate.
matter.
If you're looking away, you just walk right into that. That's a routine sac fly.
2 outs, though.
All right,
Runner at third base. He needs a knock.
All right, so now Morton missed with his location. He wanted to come in, and he missed out over the plate. So pretty good chance he might be coming back in to get back to his location again.
Well, it's 0-2.
Oh,
you got to be a little careful if you're Morton because you don't want to throw a dirt ball.
Huh?
Right? Runner on third, 2 outs. I mean, I'd rather give up a hit than throw a ball in the dirt.
Yeah, no.
Let's see if he can get something elevated. There it is. Good block by Darno. That's why he gets paid the big bucks. Huge block.
All right, what you think's coming right here? This is your pitch right here, brother.
I think, honestly, you probably try to run a two-seamer in and get him to freeze up and lock up on the inside.
Yep, that's what's coming.
Nope, curveball away. Bad pitch.
Dude, how do you blow heaters right by somebody and throw him 3 straight breaking balls? That's the kind of bullshit that we used to talk about after the game. It's like, why did you throw him 3 straight breaking balls? You blew him out the water with the fastballs. Come on, man.
Here it is, the payoff pitch. Filthy. What the fuck was that?
That was another breaking ball.
Holy shit, though, man. Did you see how much that one broke?
Yeah.
How do you throw that many shitty breaking balls, like 3 in a row, and then you throw the breaking ball of your life?
You got me. Who knows? Hey, let me ask you this. You had texted me something about Fitzgerald swinging 3-0, and you said Ohtani swung 3-0 or something. What was that? Well, let's talk about that.
Yeah, so Ohtani hit his first 3-0 homer last night of his career.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
428-foot opposite field shot. Oppo Taco. I wanted to know your approach on 3-0. What were you looking to do?
3-0 for me was generally, because I was in the 3-hole, 3-0 for me was generally a take. Because I'm setting up 4 and 5, so I'm trying to walk right there 3-0. I had the green light every time I got 3-0. I only swung maybe 3 times in my career. I guess 3-0. 2 of them were homers. One of them was off of Pedro Guerrero, and one of them was off of Pascual Perez. Not Pedro Guerrero. Pedro Martinez, excuse me.
Pedro Martinez
and Pascual Perez. Those were 2 of my homers on 3-0. The other 3-0, I don't remember what I did. But I did not generally cut it loose 3-0 because I wanted to bring the big boys up behind us with more runners on.
I mean, especially if you have Kevin Mitchell and fucking Matt Williams and Barry Bonds hitting behind you, right?
Yeah, or when I went to Texas, two-time MVP Juan Gonzalez. So I mean, those guys are going to drive the runs in if you're out there for them, and so for me personally, it was more about making the guys throw more pitches and having those guys see more pitches up at the plate. So
yeah. So 3-0 for me, because I played for the A's, was like a fucking no-go. Not swinging.
Yeah.
And that's
like take one.
Yeah, but that was bullshit because that set the tone for the career. I used to swing 3-0 in college all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. I used to rake.
And look, hey, look, a lot of people say, hey, they just throw the ball right out over the plate. That's bullshit. A lot of times on 3-0, that son goes on the corner. I was like, how the hell did you make that pitch after you missed the other 3 pitches by 6 feet?
I'm not sure if I ever got a hit 3-0. And I can count on like one hand that the times I swung. When I did, it was with the Diamondbacks.
No, okay. All
and it was Bob Melvin going, swing the fucking bat, right?
Yeah, I got you.
And his aggressive nature, which I love. But I wasn't confident to swing 3-0. You have to have a mentality. And this is what I've tried to instill within the Let Them Play boys, because that's the mentality I want them to have. We're fucking swinging. 1,000% we're swinging. You get a good pitch to hit, we're looking to do damage.
My thing was, all right, if I'm going to cut it loose 3-0, it's going to be the exact pitch that I want to hit. I mean, like the exact pitch. I'm talking about like I'm looking pitch and location and up and down. So let's say I say it's going to be fastball down and in. If it is not a fastball down and in, let it go.
Juan Soto, by the way, breaking news. His 3rd homer of the night. It is the first time that he's done it in his big league career. 3 home runs for Juan Soto, the pending free agent. I mean, he's making himself some fucking cash, huh?
Oh, man, you ain't kidding. Somebody asked me that the other day. They were asking me, who do you like to watch as far as a hitter goes in today's game? And he was the guy that popped in my brain. And not only because of, what he can do as far as, I guess you want to say power and RBIs and all that, but he's so disciplined up at the plate. He rarely swings at bad pitches. So he's kind of a throwback,
No, he is, man. I mean, he's one of the best hitters I've seen. I'm serious. Like his plate discipline's insane. He doesn't swing at balls.
Yeah,
does not swing at balls. And to think that he's doing this, at such a young age. Laureano drills one. God, holy shit! Oppo Taco for the former Oakland Athletic. You don't see many right-handers go there, but Laureano absolutely fucking destroys a baseball to right field. The Braves lead 1-0.
Hey, I tell you what, you don't see right-handers going the other way in San Francisco.
Never. I mean, so rare.
That right there, that ball, put it this way, he had to have hit the shit out of that ball.
It shot off his bat, man.
Yeah.
I guarantee you had that sound.
Wait, so now let's take this a step further, all right? Here's your learning lesson, all right? And they can't do it now because you got you can only go out to the mound a certain amount of times. I would actually go out to the mound right there and I'd tell Harrison, hey, look, fucking every now and then you got to tip your cap to a big leaguer. You made a fucking good pitch and he whacked the fuck out of it. All right. But guess what? That's not going to change how we pitch. Go back in there again. Do the same goddamn thing.
Yeah.
And, it kind of, he gives a guy like a Kyle Harrison who's young kid, gives him a little pat on the back that, hey, look, those guys that are in the other dugout are fucking pros too. You know what I'm saying? And they're paid to do a good job against you. He did a good job. Okay, shit happens. Let's move on. Let's go.
What's crazy I'd say crazy because we've seen Laureano hit, but this is a guy that was hitting 201 on the year. I mean, it's just not necessarily a swing that we think we're going to see from a 201 hitter.
Right. Right.
Hitting 644 OPS. He's known more for his defense and his good arm. 242 career average, 75 homers, 739 OPS. So not terrible. But the Giants fall behind 1-0. They need this one here. They got to keep pace and just keep that above 500 thing going.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Okay, Thrill, the other guy I want to talk to you about is the dude that has been absolutely killing it for the Giants, the shortstop, Tyler Fitzgerald. He has not cooled down. What have you seen from him?
Oh, so, you and I kind of talked about it, and Tommy, Luke, and Josh, we talk about it, on an everyday basis. But Tyler Fitzgerald, I've been a proponent of his for 2 years now. I've been wanting him to make the jump into the big leagues. He got a chance last year. Then earlier this year, he had a chance. And he got sent down, and believe it or not, rightfully so, because he didn't do crap earlier in the year. But Tyler Fitzgerald is a notorious slow starter. And so it's like one of those things where, when I saw him, I patted him on the back and told him, hey, look, I'll see you later. I said, get your shit right. And sure enough, here we go. June, July, Tyler Fitzgerald is Tyler Fitzgerald. He catches fire, and here he goes. And, you guys saw that little streak he was on. I don't know. You guys know numbers better than I do. I mean, 8 out of 12, 10 out of 15, whatever the shit it was. He was whacking a bunch of homers around there. And it's just Tyler getting hot late in the year, which is what he has done the last 3 or 4 years I've seen him.
His last 30 games, 330 average, 389 on base percentage, 728 slugging, 11 homers. I mean, the dude's been in fuego. He's cooled down a little bit. I mean, I guess you could say the last 7 games, but dude, he's treading water, and those like weeks, right? Where it's like, okay, if I could tread water and hit 250 for the week, it's fucking on. Yeah. Because I'm going to get right back into my groove. Yeah. And that's what he did, right? 250, 333 on base.
Yeah. So you're on fire, right? And you're going to cool off. Everybody's going to cool off, all right? So whammo, he cools off. Instead of being cooled off at like 250, you want to freaking mix in a walk here or a sac fly here and then cool off at maybe 270 and your average doesn't come bailing back down. And that's why I teach these guys, hey, you got to grind. You got to, oh, shit.
Yeah. Harrison's getting pummeled, bro. No other way to put it.
I didn't see it. I just caught it at the end. Was that just one right there?
Yeah, it's fucking Soler. I mean, how many former Giants are going to come back to stick it in their freaking rear ends, bro?
Fucking dumbass. You don't remember how you pitched him last time?
Oh, these fastballs are all up and away though, Thrill. Like it's these guys have an approach. So you got to jam that fucker inside. Don't let him get extended.
That's what he's not doing. He's not finishing it off, so it's sailing on him high and away. If he finishes it off, it'd be in.
Well, on the heels of Nick Ahmed hitting a huge home run against the Giants, just like a week after they released him. Now here's Soler doing damage against them.
Yeah. And that's the thing. That's the thing. And I mean, I've told several people that there's a reason why I beat up on my teammates. And it goes all the way back to Mississippi State. We used to have what they called the banana split series. So it was a fall series. It was best 2 out of 3. And they had to pick teams. And you had to face your teammates, is what you had to do, and you had to beat them 2 out of 3. 3 years in a row, I won the banana split. I never lost because I knew how my teammates pitched, and I told all the rest of my teammates how they were going to get pitched, and we beat up on Jeff Brantley 2 years in a row, who was our ace and freaking is an SEC Hall of Famer. He's a college Hall of Famer, all that. We beat up on him 2 years in a row because I told everybody what was coming.
Riley pops it up. We're lucky to get out of that. 2-0 Braves. I feel like it's 9-0.
Well, put it this way. That's in the baseball gods realm. That's a bloop and a blast. So we'll see.
And here's Amo. About time you checked in, dude. I knew the Braves fan would be here.
Oh, he says, Look at him. Oh, Jorge Soler's a stud. Yeah, there you go. There you go, Amo. Way to jump on the train after he hits a freaking triple. Nice job.
He's certainly not Acuna, but a great dude to temporarily fill the role. He's got a point. I love how they put him right in the fucking leadoff spot, too. Like, this is a guy that wasn't hitting shit for the Giants.
Hey, 6'4", 240 pounds, freaking strong as an ox, leadoff hitter. Excuse me? Leadoff hitter. Yeah, that sounds like somebody don't want to be in the middle of the lineup and face all of the freaking stuff coming at you.
So I got a question.
Yep.
Because I think it's an indicator of success. Your strikeout to walk ratio. So if I look at Tyler Fitzgerald, and if there's one thing that I would nitpick on,
yes,
at least in the past, so you say the past 30 games, he's got 8 walks, 28 strikeouts, and 103 at bats. So that's below the 10% threshold.
Yes.
Ready for this, last 15 games. So 58 at bats. He only has 2 walks and 16 strikeouts. So the question becomes, at some point, will this catch up to
him? He's part of that new generation that has not bought into, hey, look, I need to stand in front of the mirror and say, I'm 6'4" and I can fucking haul ass. Maybe I need to put the ball in play a little bit more and strike out less. And then, so don't worry. The Thrill will be talking about that quite a bit.
All right, let's go one more half inning right here and watch Matt Chapman hit, Thrill. Here's a guy that you've spent a lot of time with.
I love Matt. He is definitely our dude, EB. He's old school, plays the game the right way, all the way across the board. Dude, you give me 9 Matt Chapmans, we're gonna win. We are gonna freaking win. He's not
breaking ball, drilled up the middle, base hit.
There's nothing that's gonna freaking light you up, but everything he does is being a true pro, and he's that guy.
What have we seen from Yastrzemski this season?
All right, so freaking hit or miss. His big thing, watch. Look, EB. After this, go ahead, watch. So he goes like this, all right? He ducks that head in there. As soon as that elbow comes up, that back shoulder drops. I've talked to him about 6 times about it. Whether he listens or not, I don't know. Oh,
dude, you know what?
Imagine that. The head just dropped up in there. There you go.
That's interesting because I know what you're saying. I think that's his natural move. But if you remind him, look, stay tall, it'll at least keep it a little bit higher and allow him to get on top of the ball like he did right there, base it up the middle.
So when you're up high and you duck your head in there like that, the only ball you can hit's down. And that was the ball he just hit just there. If you start, and that's what people are doing, when they start elevating up the ladder, that's when he has problems.
Giants are in business. Runners at first and third, no outs. And here he is, Patrick Bailey, 238 on the season. Let's see. Bailey, 654 OPS, so not great. Taking a look at the defensive positioning. Another big hole right up there through the middle. That should get a run home. Good job by Morton.
All right, and then
Coming off, but I'll take that, right?
Hey, yeah.
RBI.
We got a run home, 1-run gain. Now we got a runner on second base, 1 out.
Advance the guy.
Yeah, got an
right
RBI.
back into it.
It was a piece of shit at bat, but it came out smelling like a rose. So there you go.
Amos says you might have hit on it, but last night's Manfred rule outcome was tough. Either way, it would have been rough after such great pitching outings. Yes, Amo, we did hit on it.
We already visited that early in the show. That's what you get for being late, motherfucker. We already visited that shit. Already dropped a freaking Yahoo to freaking Manfred. So, see you later. Stay out the chat room. Stay out the chat room, motherfucker. You're a Braves fan.
What about Gerard Encarnacion? I don't know anything about him.
I don't know. I don't know any. Oh God. I don't know anything about him, but I watched him in Washington when he was with the team, and he whacked one to right center, he whacked one to left center, and I mean he pissed on both of those balls, and he didn't get no love. Right there, he hit that ball pretty good too.
Well, dude, he's a big presence. I mean, it's
All right,
6'4", 250.
Wisely's big thing is he's another guy that he gets going and starts up underneath the ball, so he's another guy that they elevate fastballs on.
That's that nasty breaking ball. He takes it.
Morton
inside.
You got to remember he came from the American League, so that's how he grew up pitching backwards.
Yeah, I feel like everybody pitches backwards. Gulf Coast College, community college for Wisely. Big swing and a miss.
Right there, see that right there? So look, he goes like this and he goes, ooh, and he drops up underneath it. I mean, he didn't even foul that ball off. That ball's right there.
1 ball, 1 strike. Runner at second base. Giants trailing 2-1 in the bottom of the second inning. Charlie Morton, another filthy slider that wisely fouls off.
Up underneath it.
That curveball's working for him now. Does he throw another one, or is he going to come back with the fastball?
You better throw another one. You better throw another one. Just this one be down.
Wisely got a piece of it. Theoretically, he could throw it in the dirt if he has to because the runner's at second and not third. So you could give up that base if you had to. But Charlie Morton, I mean, this guy's been a savage for a while, man. I mean, he always had great stuff, and then I think it was when Houston, when he finally got there, I mean, that's when he elevated his game to the next level.
When he was there.
There's another breaking ball. That's just like, I mean, come on.
I'm sorry.
Just like you said, you called it.
You and I are sitting here with microphones about this far away from us, and we know what's coming, and the guys in the batter's box don't know what's coming.
Well, look, so you said another breaking ball's coming, and then immediately I went to this one's going to be in the dirt because he doesn't give a fuck if that guy scores, right? So that's the advantage of having a guy on third as opposed to a guy on second if you're an offense, because if the guy's on third, he ain't throwing that shit in the dirt. He does not want that run to score, but Morton's breaking ball right now to the lefties is fucking filthy, man.
But then here's another thing. He's falling into a pattern. These are the things that you and I have talked about before. If you go back a few hitters before Wisely comes up there, he flipped up some breaking balls or runs in scoring position. Guess what he's going to try to get you out with? You're down in the order. He's going to get you out with that shit.
Amos says he's a big Thrill and Byrnesy fan too, even though he's a Braves fan. Amo, we love you. Keep coming back. Linda, look, I'm not saying this. Linda said this. She said Manfred can eat a bag of dicks.
Linda, you have made my night right there. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm not sure I said that correctly, though, Throat. She said Manfred can eat a bag o' dicks.
Hey, that's the southern pronunciation. Odix.
Oh, so good. Thrill, anything else before we go tonight? I got dinner waiting for me downstairs, man. Smell-o-vision.
What's on Smell-o-vision? What's Tara got working?
Let's ask her.
All right,
Honey,
ask.
what's for Smell-o-vision? Maple bacon cheeseburgers.
Maple bacon cheeseburgers. Look at you go.
Maple bacon cheeseburgers. Hold on, I'm getting called by one of my children. Hello, Sissy Small Fry Fancy. You realize we're live to thousands and thousands of people right now in Deuces Wild.
Thousands and thousands of people.
Is there a candle you like?
Yes, I just got a new Halloween candle.
Why is it's not Halloween though? Sissy with her Halloween. It's orange. It's a Giants candle, we could say.
And doesn't smell like pumpkin or anything?
It smells good, man. I don't know what it is, but
hey, all of everybody in the audience, since EB went on it, we'll just call the ear a take. So 3-0, you take one, you dumbass. Set up the people behind you.
yeah. I mean he's got Osuna twice. Give her Harrison. Let's talk about you. You get hit around a little bit, you come right back at it. The thing he's got to be careful of, leave that shit like middle away. Because that's when those guys
no. Agreed. Totally agree.
All right, man. So we're back on again for next week. That's good shit.
We are on for next week, and
I'll be in the South too.
Hopefully the freaking Giants make a move here, dude. Like I told you, and I told everybody in the chat room, they play one team above 500 in August. This is the time. All right, yeah, battle the Braves, battle their asses off, but this is the time you make up ground because you're gonna come up against the teams that you need to beat on. So beat on them, and then get right back in the middle of this. And in September is the freaking sprint to the finish, brother. It's a sprint.
Currently, right now, Thrill, the Giants only 2.5 games back of that last wild card spot, right? It's Arizona, San Diego. I mean, this is fucking crazy. You want to know what's really crazy? Is that theoretically, you could have 4 teams from the NL West in the playoffs.
Yes. So now check this one out. So Arizona and San Diego, they're like, however they situated, they're 1 and 2 in the wild card. Atlanta's 3. And we are playing them head to head. If we win this game tonight, we're only a game and a half back of the whole wild card thing. And that's what I'm saying. You could have, let's say the Dodgers win the division. You could have all 3, Arizona, San Diego, and the Giants, all 3 of the wild card spots.
Yeah, that'd be fun to watch. I love how the Padres are playing right now. They're next level. And this kid, Jackson Merrill, have you had a chance to see him?
I haven't seen him that much, but he looks pretty decent.
Oh, fuck. Look at this. An absolute Tank Johnson.
They look like
by Travis d'Arnaud, the guy that we celebrated earlier for his prowess behind the plate offensively has just stuck it to the Giants. The brother of Chase d'Arnaud, a former Giant.
d'Arnaud, yeah.
Yeah. Just seems like a really good family, man. I don't know, but Chase has been on No Filter before. He was doing shows on No Filter.
Really?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
That right there is the. I hate to say it, but that is a ball that's going to get hit every time. That's a center cut fastball right down the middle.
Well, the Giants go down 3-1, so we'll keep our eye on this, watching the rest of it. Daily Hustle back on tomorrow. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, do us a favor, leave a review, 5 stars preferably. If you want to write something great, write something great. The downloads have been fucking fantastic, so thank you guys for that. Tell a friend, send the podcast, and then if you want to join us, we're live every Tuesday night with the Deuces Wild crew.
Gang! We're the gang, baby.
The great fucking crew.
Rub dirt on it, all you little bastards that freaking want to bail out the lineup and everything else, rub some dirt on it, get your ass out there.
And get your ass out the way at second base.
Hey, as it was said in the chat room, when I'm on first base, the trains are coming. You better get out the way.
Oh, Thrill, great shit tonight, man. Appreciate your candidness, as always.
That shit tonight was great. I loved it. And we're going to have even better stuff next week. Everybody, jump back in the chat room, man. It was awesome. You guys were firing all night long. It was freaking great to read. I mean, loved it. Bring friends. Bring friends.
Bring them.
Come on. Bring it on.
All right, Thrill. Until next week, buddy.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen.
See ya!